1, 2, 3. Oh, okay, that was a reverb I didn't want to actually hear. I did not want to hear that reverb back. Ow, that actually kind of shook my eardrum a little bit. Turn that down a little bit. What's going on, guys? It is IceLikeCooper88, also known as Steve. Yeah, I know, never thought that you would hear that intro again. Surprisingly, despite the somberness of this video and me opening up and talking about a lot of what happened and having time to digest a lot of things, as well as I think when I did that video I knew that a lot of people were going to be sad, but I didn't expect kind of the outpour that I got. And I think also what really baffled me was everybody was messaging me are you okay, what's going on, certain people going, it's I don't mean to pry, but is everything okay? And it kind of started to make me feel very uncomfortable. By the way, anybody who wants to watch this is not Diablo, this is Warhammer Chaos Bane, but it's very Diablo-esque. And I'm actually about ready to run one of what they call the relic maps, which is basically, it's just a looting map. And I have it on Chaos 1 difficulty. Because I'm trying to grind my characters for better gear, and I'm going to drive myself nuts, as I have the last couple of days, because in order to beat one of the higher level bosses and get the trophy for it, I have to run through loot stuff. And plus, with the story expansion coming out next month or the beginning of next year, I want to make sure my characters are properly geared. Because I have a feeling that even on the easiest difficulty, it's probably gonna suck. But I digress. Run through this and I'll talk about what's been going on since the last video a week or so ago. Oh! Crap, put my character. There we go. Also, yes, those are spinning blades around me. That's actually part of one of my... Let me show some of y'all that care about playing Diablo and these kind of loadouts and stuff. There's different kind of armor sets. Heroic is basically red, so what you're going to see is a lot of red items that give me increased damage and all that stuff. This actually, the Deadly Glow, which I'm hoping I will get the gloves and the pants for, that's going to increase the damage of my Dryads. So I'm very excited about that. I'm hoping that that will... And it'll give me 2 familiars, which means double the healing spots. But this right here, Dashing Daggers, which surprisingly I got that at level 47, because this was the first character I beat the game with. It gives me permanent spinning blades that basically... It's basically kind of like a blade wall or a blade barrier. But anyway... I should probably get to the point of this video rather than ranting, but I know some of y'all that are RPG nuts or love, Diablo will find this kind of interesting if you haven't had this on your radar yet. Also, I have a poison build, so that's why the enemies are dying very quickly, because everything is set to poison. I literally have just a wall of death, essentially. But I'm very grateful to you guys, and I know I say that a lot, but really truly I was shocked. Not only by the outpour, but I was shocked that people were coming at me on Twitter and everything else, and even people that maybe only watch my videos coming out of the woodwork, to just ask hey, are you okay? You sound really down, you sound really depressed. And I guess from the way I came across, it was so scary that, that, of course, even some of the people that watch my videos and just kind of lurk, one of my closest friends, who also happens to be my ex from high school, got into contact with me, started talking to me on video through Facebook Messenger and Twitter and stuff, and people just seeing how I was doing. And I think probably the hardest step for me was acknowledging that even though I have a very bad poker face, just not being able to rightfully show that nothing bothers me and I'm also kind of somewhat bad with expressing my emotions. So I've been for the past couple of days, kind of not going through the honeymoon phase, so to speak. I've just been kind of processing what a lot of people have said to me, what a lot of people have been saying to me. And one of the things that I'm very strongly considering at the moment, not even just considering, but something that I know that I'll have to do at some point. I just haven't sat down and ready to do it, and I need to. I've only done a little bit of light work on it, is start maybe considering going to work. Even though I'm very hesitant to do so, I figure, there's a lot of options, especially in today's time, like group therapy. Oh, I almost died there. That would have been bad. There's group therapy, there's individual therapy, there's a lot of things that really would be very beneficial and be very helpful. And I think that I need to start opening up to people more, because I'm the kind of person that I never wanted to bother people. I essentially wanted to be the shoulder to cry on for everybody, but I myself, didn't feel like I needed to have people shoulder, the burdens that I carry with me. And that's never a good thing, and I'm starting to realize that, it's okay to lean on other people, even if it makes you uncomfortable. The first step is admitting that you have a problem, or admitting that there is a problem there. And it's also the fact that, I go to work, to give you guys an idea of what it's like to work. I go to work, I come home, and I just play video games, or I'll read, or I'll do anything. I kind of, for the last couple of months, I've really been going to wrestling shows. There's my buddy that I go to with these wrestling shows, and he's got a new car, and he's trying to take better care of it, and also a lot of his buddies have been doing stuff with him. And it's not like I'm being excluded out of those events, it's just, he's facilitating of offers that friends are giving him, which to me is not a bad thing. But I think one of the hardest things for me to admit is that I do feel like that, and I do feel like I wish that I could, be a part of all these cool things that he does, but there's also a part of me that kind of feels like that's selfish in a weird way. Like, that's kind of the biggest thing with me. It's why I didn't really talk to my ex all that much. It's not because I don't care about her. It's just in my mind, and there's a lot of people that are like this. I felt like because she has a family, she's married, and she's leading a life that, in my opinion, suits her. I felt like maybe I should just not bother her. Let her live her life, and I'm like that with a lot of people, and I found out a lot of people in my friends group are like, they're like, why do you feel that way? It's not a bad thing to get in contact with us and let us know every once in a while that we're okay. It's like, we do think about you, and we do worry about you. And that somehow actually made me feel worse. Because it's like, I close myself off because, people they're leading their lives and my friends are moving forward. And I think what really was difficult for me was having to acknowledge that my heart was in the right place, but that the way I was going about it was very, not only isolationist, but it was very mentally and emotionally unhealthy, because I was basically cutting myself off from it. I basically was purposely secluding myself because I felt like, everybody else will be happy if, I just kind of leave them be, and they're starting families, and they have kids, and this and that, and all these things. All these things that I really shouldn't be concerning myself with. hard, guys. It's really kind of hard to just sit back and ask myself, like, am I really doing what I feel is right for myself? And the answer is no, I'm not. It's like, even though I'm reluctant to, because I don't want to feel or appear weak, I have to acknowledge to myself that, you know, this attitude is not healthy. And I've just been like this with my mother and my now ex-stepfather divorced, and, you know, I've been like that for years after a while. You know, I see all my peers and my friends and other people, you know, doing well in life, and I just feel like I'm still stuck, you know, in the same place, same mindset, and I very unhealthily learned to accept that because, well, everybody else is going to be more successful than me. Why should I even bother trying anymore? You know, I almost kind of fell into a very depressed slump, and I fell into a very bitter mindset, one that I now kind of look at and kind of wish that I had realized was not healthy. And I think, you know, doing this and hoping to become successful really kind of started to make me feel more angry, because it's like, I feel like I'm not good at anything. Yeah, I love playing video games, but I feel like I'm not good at showing my personality and not attracting people to me. And I kind of became consumed not just by the streamer mindset, but by the mindset of everybody else is going to always be one step ahead of me or be more successful than me. And it pissed me off, because I feel like I deserve better in this life after everything that I've been through in my life. I won't say that my life's been terrible, but I will say that I went through a lot of hardships that I feel were unnecessary for somebody like me. Not just on the autism spectrum, but just in general. Like, I feel like that kid that did nothing wrong to anybody, but yet was shit because of it. So I've always had this chip on my shoulder that, you know, I am better than everybody, and I deserve to be better than everybody. And that was one of the biggest things that my ex was kind of trying to open my eyes to, is that mindset which I've had, especially since we were dating. She's like, you know, I thought that you would have gone past that, but you still will always harbor resentment, won't you? And the sad truth is that, yes, I always harbor some resentment, but I think eventually, especially after I talked to her, you know, there were a lot of things, and I won't repeat them because they were very super personal, but there were a lot of things that when she brought them to my attention, I had to really for once in my life not just say that I'm listening, but like genuinely listen to like what somebody is saying and really take what they're saying to heart. And that's when I was like, you know, I really don't want to consider therapy, because that makes me feel like I'm weak, like I can't handle this on my own. But I also have to acknowledge, okay, which would I rather have? To feel like I'm weak, or to truly be weak and then next thing you know something bad happens to me? And I think watching all the stuff involving, I forget the YouTuber's name, but the kid that had passed away a couple of months ago, you know, I started looking at that, and I started looking at a lot of other things, a lot of other contributing factors, and I started to ask myself, I'm like, you know, is it really a bad thing that in our society people don't get the help that they need, and people always question and ask themselves, you know, is it, you know, I wish I could have done more, I wish I could. And I always ask myself that mindset too. And I think something kind of clicked. Like mentally and emotionally, something just kind of clicked. And I think a lot of the passion that I lost, that, you know, for those that were worried about that, you know, I am still stressed, and there's a lot of crap going on at work. There's a lot of crap, you know, at home that I won't repeat behind closed doors. I'm not spilling any tea or any laundry or any of that stuff. You know, that's my life. Y'all don't need to know about it. I will say that there are certain things that I'm starting to try to look at with clarity and really ask myself, you know, like, why am I really angry about that? Or why do I feel this way about it? Because the first actual step, and I think what really sells it home to me, that I have a great support system both on and outside of YouTube, Twitch, streaming, you know, streaming and everything, etc. So many people gathered around me like that know me personally, and we're saying, you know, Steve, you know, we're proud of the fact that you are acknowledging that you need help, or that you are willing to seek help or be open to the idea. You know, and a lot of people are telling me, you know, it's like, don't rush into it, do it at your own level of possibility, but please at least make progress in doing so. Which I don't think is a very hard request. It's really not a hard request. It's very simple, very manageable. I think one of the hardest things for me is stubborn-headedly not admitting to myself that it's like, well, you know, people got bigger problems than me. Yeah, that's true. A lot of people do got bigger problems in the world, but, you know, I have to acknowledge that where I'm at right now is not a good place. And I think I need to learn to open up. That was the biggest conversational piece that so many people said. They're like, well, Steve, you're always so guarded. You're always so worried about everybody else, but you never worry about yourself. And it's not a good way to live, you know, like lecturing me, but lecturing me for all the right reasons that I didn't want to hear, but needed to hear. Because it's true. I take care of everybody else, but I don't take care of myself. Essentially, I just got to a point where I'm like, you know, it's like I'm not necessarily gonna take my own life, but I just want to wither away, you know, very slowly. Because that's what life is to me. Life is just, you know, you suffocate, you know, slowly until, you know, you finally reach an old age and your body just kind of gives out on you. I know for some that's like extreme or triggering, or oh my god, you know, yeah, that's just where my head was at. Like deep down they are doing to try and help me figure out like what the hell is going on in my life that I should feel this way. And it's a very sobering experience when you can see the people around you that you talk to on a regular basis, or people that know you, and you know, they start to essentially cry or hopefully this won't cut out. Anytime it's doing anything bad at my house, it's cut out. But I definitely do want to say thank you to you guys, and I also especially, you know, I feel like even though I shouldn't apologize for it, I feel like I should apologize to you guys at the same time. I did not mean to scare people, and I didn't mean to make people like worry that I was going to self-harm or that I was going to do anything bad to myself. I wouldn't do that, but at the same time, paraphrase my ex, I may not think about it, but there may be one day where it might happen. And I need to always be constantly aware of that. That I may not think this way now, but that could very drastically change whether I realize it or not. And I should always try to be very diligent and careful with how I choose to carry myself. We live in a very cold world where people are ostracized far more than they should be for how they feel or how they think. And society puts all these rules in place for people, and people aren't allowed to feel a certain way, they aren't allowed to do this or do that. And you have a lot of individuals that end up, thinking very, very small of themselves. They use that terminology. They think very small of themselves. My method hasn't changed. I still do believe in people, but I think I need to learn to quit being stubborn and learn to lean on other people rather than just bear the burden of dealing with my own problems alone. And that's not easy to admit. Even saying it right now, I'm just like, why am I saying all this? Like, I'm fighting my own mind. Like, why are you saying this? Nobody cares. Or why are you saying this? People are just going to think that you're doing this for views. Just constantly at war with myself over every little thing that I do. What is this? Executioners. A percentage of health regeneration is... Huh. A percentage of health regeneration is added to damaged up. That's not bad, but I'm going to put that... Oof, I want to keep that, but... Health, cost regeneration. We're going to go with this because that's got damage over time. Maximum health. I don't necessarily need maximum health. And that's doing crit damage and stuff. I'll take this because this actually has what I need because I'm looking for damage over time stuff more than anything. Sorry, I didn't mean to like zone out, but this has literally been me the entire time that I've played this game. Just like, do these stats stack up with what I'm trying to build this character to be? But I don't want you guys to worry about me. And like really, truly, sincerely, I don't want you guys to worry about me. I am taking tentative steps to get better and start thinking better. Because we like I said, we live in a world where people are very cold, callous, and cruel when they shouldn't be. And that leads to a lot of people, starting to think low of themselves. And most of my life have been told that I will never achieve anything. So it's a very hard mindset to get out of. And I hope that at least one day I will be able to see the success that I want, but I also hope that eventually I will get to a point where none of this stuff will matter. Like, what you see on screen is very much still me. Like, what you're hearing right now is still also very much me. But I think it's a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not transparent, but just much more open. I'm not going to strain my brain to think about it. But I'm very much more open, guys, and I very much more want you guys to take the time for yourselves. Take the time for yourselves. Take the time to understand that not everything is always going to be okay. That there's nothing wrong with opening up to people and admitting that, you need help. And if people shun you for wanting help, then, they want to see you fail. And they want to see you be unhappy for the rest of your life. And you got to do what's right for yourself eventually. Doesn't matter if it's family, doesn't matter if it's friends. Not everybody knows what is good for you. They have the best intentions, but they may not always know what is truly good for you. And especially so as you get older, you need to start looking at everything with a grain of salt. Because nobody else is going to do that for you but you. And that's kind of sad for me to say, and it kind of sounds like I'm a little embittered, especially considering I still live at home essentially and take care of my mother, but that is my life situation. And I try every day to not say anything that I'm going to regret, and even though, yeah, I really want to move away from her, that opportunity has not presented itself yet. But when it does, and I know this for a fact, it's going to make her cry, but I also think it'll make her proud, because her one wish is that I succeed when she's long past. Like, living on my own, being stable, I am 100% confident that that's what she wants, but and I think she shares in my frustration, but she also, I don't think she understands how much that actually affects me mentally, but but that's neither here nor there. Also, real quickly before I wrap this up, these are pretty much the 4 characters that are in the game thus far. They're adding a 5th one. There's going to be a 5th character. You have Bragi Axbiter, the Dwarven Berserker. Well, they call him Slayer in the Warhammer universe, but it's basically a D3, but actually has tanky type abilities, isn't squishy as shit. Yeah, I said it. The one that you just saw me play as, Alyssa, the Wood Elf, the only female character on this roster thus far until they release Kelsa or Kisala. I want to say there's going to be another Dwarven character to complement Bragi, and also the secondary female character to complement Alyssa. And she's going to be a Dwarven engineer. So maybe, just maybe, if I start doing videos again, which I'm kind of starting to feel like I should start doing videos again, doing stuff like this, I may just do a video just for shits and giggles of playing with that character when she comes out. Probably one of my favorite characters, and probably one of the more OP characters, but in a good way, is Elentier, who is the secondary Elven character to complement Alyssa, and he is a High Elf mage. He's basically the mage character, the sorcerer character, and probably the most versatilely built character. And when I say versatilely built, I mean you can do him so many different ways. Like, you can do pure magic.